Alright. Alright, we're back. We're back. We're back in the same place, but not in the same place at all. I want to come back on here and tell my story a little bit, give a bit of an update on what's been going on because, man, it's been good. Life has been good. Chasing your dreams, it worked out. So we're far from where this path will end, but we're certainly on a far better path than I was, and I can't believe it. I can't believe it, but I can. And it feels good to be in this position now and to tell others that they can go and do the same thing. So I wanted to start it with a little bit of the story from my perspective and how I see the last 8 months, and then where I was at, where I am now, then going into the future, what I'm going to be doing. So to run it back all the way from the beginning, May 14th, I said, this is it. I can't do it no more. I can't be on this path. I want to be somewhere else. And here I am in the same place, but so far removed from where I was then and just in a better place. So when I quit my job, I said, I'm going to figure out a way to go and do my dream of looking out over the city skyline and saying, that's my building. So now I can look at Santander building right there and 1428 right behind it from my balcony and say, those are our buildings. So I took the job with Coastal and I never looked back. I said, this is what I want to do, and I've been putting my all into it. I've been working long days, long hours, but I'm really proud of the work that I've done thus far at Coastal, and I can't wait for the future. So with all that being said, May 14th, I quit and I said, I'm going to do everything that I can, and I found that applications were not going to get me to where I wanted to be. I saw as a recruiter how it all worked, and I saw the hundreds of applications that came into one single job, and I said, look, I don't got an MBA, I don't got this, I don't got that, but what I do have is this. And so I went out there and I spoke with the people, and I just talked to everybody that I could. I got in contact with everybody that I could, and I firmly believe that if it didn't work out the way that it did with someone that I didn't meet networking like that, I would be able to find a job in that fashion. But luckily it did. I met someone that put me in contact with my current boss, and then another guy who got me a job. But I found that person through another person that I just kept in contact with from the moment that I met him. I just always followed up, and I saw that he was doing the same job that I had, and I said, yo, like, congrats on the new job, like, if you ever want to talk about it, I'm here. Catch up one or two times, and all of a sudden he's going down to Key West, him and all his friends, saying, dude, if you want to come, you're more than welcome. So it's like, absolutely. Walked into a double hotel room with 20 different people. They just like, we slept with air mattresses all on the floor, and some people would be scared to walk into a situation like, oh, I don't know anybody down there, like I only knew him. Come down there and I make friends with everybody, and I ended up meeting the person that ended up changing my life, and it worked out well in that regard. But it was only when I started taking priority of my life and what I want to do is when it all changed. So come to now, I spent about 6 months at Coastal, and it has been obviously life-changing, but just so motivating to see what is out there and to be in the position that I am. I'm a special projects coordinator, but it's particularly broad for a reason because I have a very general job role, but for the moment I'm an executive assistant. So do a lot of executive assistant work while the president's current assistant is out on maternity leave, and so she comes back here in January. So then I am going to be changing my role from more of the assistant roles to more of the special projects that I was working on. Right now, I do both. And I love it because I get to see the business from this top-down kind of view that would otherwise be completely foreign to me. I wouldn't have the kind of visibility that I do into this billion-dollar revenue organization. I get to see all the different projects that are going on. I get to see all the communication between the senior leadership team, between everybody that reports up into my boss. Like, I just get to see the world from this fascinating point of view, and it showed me where I want to get to, but I was absolutely right in my deliberation video talking about I want to be king, but I'm not ready to be king yet. I'm 23. I need to learn the ropes. I need to learn everything I can and just be a sponge to absolutely everything around me. And then someday I'll be able to look over a city skyline and say, that's my building. So that's all I've been doing, is just learning, just constantly learning. So I'm doing everything from setting up meetings and grabbing coffee to actively participating in meetings and giving advice and coordinating between all the different teams and working with all of them, working on different projects. I've had such a general role that it's hard to specify it down into anything in particular. But what I can say is how much I love it. I absolutely adore my job. I wake up Monday morning like, let's go. What's it going to be this week? And I get to work with my boss on all of his meetings and talk to him about them, how he's feeling about this, and how he's feeling about that. And it's just this sense of like, I'm in the place that I want to be. And that was what I was searching for when I quit my job initially. It's really just come to be where I'm waking up in the morning and I'm happy. And I was happy before, but not happy in this way. And it's just changed my perspective on life and just makes me feel so good. It makes me feel so wonderful to know that I'm on a path where I can see the trajectory is just up. And so if you're sitting there and you're feeling like, I don't know if this is for me, take that risk. Because, dude, it works out when you start chasing your dreams. I gave a presentation last week, and it was one of the most impactful moments of my life. I was able to stand there with one of my colleagues and give a presentation about how you should take control of your future, follow your dreams, and if they want to be in construction, then great. An overarching thesis of these two presentations to a couple hundred school kids from 7th grade to 10th grade was all talking about chase your dreams. And it was what I wanted to get out of these videos. Like, I don't want to just talk about like, oh, my life is great, like it's all good now. Like, I want to show people that when you take control of your life, things happen for you. If you sit there in complacency, then nothing happens. There's a quote that says, nothing changes if nothing changes. It hit me when I read that. It was like on an Instagram reel. And I sat there and I was like, yeah, like, obviously, but nothing changes if nothing changes. Because if you sit there and you go to work and then you come home and you do nothing and you go to bed and you go to work and then you do nothing and then you go to work, that's great, and you're probably going to progress in your career in that specific field. But if your career doesn't have any progression above, you're just going there and putting your nose to the grindstone and there's nowhere else that you can go from there, which is what I saw at my old job, it's just, you're not going to go anywhere. Nothing changes if nothing changes. So I made that change. Now I see my trajectory on a completely different level to where it ever was before. And it just feels so great knowing that I have so much in front of me, and I just sit there and I'm like, what am I going to do with all this future? What am I going to do with all this future? It's a quote by somebody from some museum that my brother got me, and it's a poster on my wall when I was growing up. I said, what are you going to do with all this future? I mean, I got time. I got time ahead of me. Like, I have so many years to build and build and build and build and build and build. Hopefully build my building. But dude, I want to go so much further than that. I have such incredible aspirations as to where I want to take this life and where I can take myself in this life and creating the life that I want to lead. And so it's so cool to me that this is just the beginning. I'm an infant. I'm a baby. I'm 23. I was in college a year and a half ago. So in my mind, I think about it as I'm 1.5 years old. I'm 1.5 years old of working full time. And to me, I'm in a wildly different place than when I was 1.5 years old. Dude, I couldn't walk. Maybe I could. I don't know when you start walking, but like 1.5 years old. And I just feel this overwhelming sense of accomplishment of I'm living in my own place that I pay for. I'm staying in Miami. I have the beautiful skyline behind me. I found a girlfriend. She's fantastic. She's an architect and she's making her own luxury homes. And she's got a dog and it's right by my work, and I get to go over there and she cooks me a meal, and I'm just so appreciative of the life that she provides for me and that I've provided for myself by getting to this point. And it took a lot of self-reflection and building and constantly trying to improve myself to get to the point where I am now. And it's just so exciting. Where can I go in the future? What am I going to do when I'm 10, when I'm 20, when I'm 30? Like when I retire, what will I have built? What legacy will I have left on the world?